Oh, we're recording.
We're all dead with Chris and Matt, two idiots, friends in a great big chat. Meet the boys and hear their words. Their brains are full of stinky old turds. But what would you rather do instead? We're all dead. We're all dead. We're all dead.
Welcome back to We're All Dead. Who cares about welcoming you? Let's just talk. You just got back from the airport.
Yeah,
It's very early in the morning. I'm shouting a lot.
yeah. I'm
Came in hot.
I am officially pissed. Hold on.
Oh. Oh, gross.
I forgot that my teeth.
Oh, God. Chris just took out retainers?
Yep.
Ew.
Mm.
Oh,
yeah,
my
I was like,
God.
I forgot those were in there. But as soon as I started talking, because I've been sitting here silently for like a little while, and I was like, so how's everybody do? Oh, fuck. My teeth.
Chris took a penis out of his mouth.
What?
Sorry, 1 second.
Blarg.
Wow. So, yeah, you just took your mommy to the airport.
Yeah, she was visiting for like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Your mom's the coolest.
she's so nice. She
is.
loved hanging out with the kids. She loved. Oh man, we went out on. This is kind of crazy. We went out on Saturday night. Yeah. So had some childcare going on. My wife was doing what she was doing, and I took my mom out for drinks and some dinner. And we started drinking. There was like a live band playing a bunch of music,
Heck
and
yeah.
we were like just getting some beers and stuff. And the way that it ended was like I eventually told her how me and my ex-girlfriend, who she liked, we were pretty serious for a while, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe it maybe some of the trust started going downhill in that relationship after we had that threesome. To my mom.
You told your mom that. Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, full disclosure. She
Oh
was
my
just like,
God.
What?
What's
You
better
did
than
that?
getting drunk with your parents and just having like a deep conversation? Mom,
Yeah.
I was in a threesome.
Yeah, it was like, it's actually pretty cool, Mom. I don't know. I know you're probably not the audience for this, but it's
Ew.
kind of cool when two chicks are like, yeah, let's do this. It's like
Disgusting.
winning
Now
the
you're talking to
lottery.
your mom.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
bragging to my mom about having a threesome.
It's like when I was visiting my parents, and I walked into the garage at like 10 o'clock at night, and I caught my mom red-handed smoking a giant bowl.
Oh.
And I was like, excuse me, ma'am. I was like, hand that to me right now. I swear I did. And then she like handed it to me, and I just took a huge rip off of it. And I was like, we're smoking weed together now.
Yeah. Have you done it since?
Yes.
Okay.
A few times.
I didn't know she liked to get wet.
Quite a few times. I always suspected, but I caught her.
Yeah. Red-handed. She seems like not the kind of gal who, she's always like, no, don't do that now.
And then my younger brother was like, yeah, you didn't know that? I stole my first bowl from her, and I steal weed from her all the time. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
you had no idea Mom liked to chief on Kush?
Oh
my God.
yeah.
If I ever saw my mom admitted to smoking weed.
Your mom would be awesome smoking weed.
Oh,
I feel like she would be the coolest.
She told me a story about taking, because she's not interested in smoking anything, but my sister had a gummy, and gave her one, and I guess it was like 20 milligrams or something. And for my
That's
mom, who
a lot for
who
someone
does
who
not, yeah,
yeah.
she like I outweigh my mom by like 100 pounds, and I I take a 5 milligram, and I'm like, ooh. But yeah, she apparently took one, and she was like the trees are like in 3D. And I was like, Mom, the whole world is in 3D.
Yeah, they
That's
were
just
3D before.
how it naturally is. And she's like, but like, she's just like laughing her ass off, like trying to explain what she meant. And then she ate like 10 bowls of cereal.
She was seeing in 5D.
Yeah. She was seeing that extra D. My mom.
Ew.
Why did I say that?
Like in threesomes. Extra D's.
No thanks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh dude, can we briefly talked about it when I just finished a job like whenever it was in the last week or so, and
yeah.
I got a ride. I had to drop off a rental car, and I called an Uber to get back home, and my Uber driver he picked me up in like basically like a Crown Vic or something.
Yeah.
And that was like pretty stylish. And the dude started asking, we just started talking, and we started talking about all the restaurants in Charleston, like how there's so much good food here.
Yeah.
And this dude was like, yeah, man, this guy's plan was, he was like, yeah, man, he goes, those places are expensive though. He was like, I'm thinking about taking out a personal loan so I can take some bitches to these restaurants.
Oh,
he started
no.
talking about, he was like, he wanted to take out a personal loan to take the bitches to some fancy places in Charleston.
I mean,
and I was like, that's kind of a sweet move. Really? Like,
yeah, I mean,
if you don't care about debt,
yeah,
that's an awesome move.
Yeah. I'm going to go to a payday loan place that's going to charge me 300% interest so I can take some bitches out for crab legs. Like, oh, yeah.
You want a scallop, baby? It's on me.
You know what that means, though?
It's
if
fucking
you take
awesome.
them out to one of those, that guaranteed, he is going to have a three-way. He's going to be spreading their crab legs, if you know what I mean.
If you get a good enough loan, man, you can take 2 bitches out to the fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
This dude was hilarious. He made me laugh the entire trip back to my house, and I usually don't talk to drivers. When they're like, how you doing? I'm like, fine.
I'm fine. Phone out, start texting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, all this business I have to do.
Oh, yes, I'm a very busy person. YouTube video. Sending my buddy fart memes on Instagram.
Dude, that would be so great. You pull up one of those soundboard apps, and you're like, I'm sorry, I have very important business to do, if you'll excuse me. And then you just start going... Just a very serious face staring at your phone like, interesting.
What business exactly are you in, sir?
I export hazardous materials in exchange for military upgrade system. Anyway,
yeah, he exports stuff to the Coyote from Acme Corporation. I'm a cartoon exporter.
I'm assuming this is true, but I got that from the Don DeLillo book, Underworld, where part of our nation's, like, how we make money is we sell hazardous material to other countries to bury it. Just like, hey, can we bury this in your country?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if that's true. I didn't look it up, but it feels like it is definitely true.
Yeah,
I would assume.
that was a result of research, I think.
In the book, they were selling spent uranium to Kazakhstan, like burying it in like some mines there.
Yeah. Hey man, if you got a big
anyways.
hole and you don't want anyone to go in it,
That's where I pulled that from. Old Don DeLillo book.
oh, Don DeLillo. Yeah,
Oh man.
that's the one. The opening scene is like at a baseball stadium.
Yes, it's the Pirates
World
playoff
Series.
game.
Oh, playoff game.
It's I
In
think
New
it was
York.
it was New York versus New York, I think, and it was the playoff game with the shot heard around the world. I'm pretty sure that's the setup.
Yeah,
I don't know that much about. I'm not a huge baseball historian, but
not a baseball guy.
I think it was like there was like 3 home runs to come back and win. It was like one of the greatest games in history, and they never found the 3rd home run ball. And in the book, it's like a little kid from Brooklyn or whatever. He like sneaks into the game with his buddies,
Yeah,
and he ends up grabbing the ball. Like he's best friends with the guy sitting next to him. Like it's just an older white dude sitting next to him. They don't know each other, and then the guy's like, "Hey man," he's like, "This is the guy knows he snuck in." And is like, this is a big deal. Like you need to remember this game.
yeah.
And
It's like telling, and the kid's like 6 or 8 or something.
yeah, he's like a little kid.
Yeah.
And then when the ball lands at them, and the kid is like on the ground trying to grab the ball, and he looks, and the other hand on the ball is that guy, and the dude is like a fucking animal trying to get the ball from him, like, give it to me, you little motherfucker, like goes insane. And the kid fucking grabs the ball and like runs out of the stadium, like just jumps turnstiles and is like, see ya, and like takes the ball. And then it's like the most sought after, like one of the most important baseballs in
Baseball
history.
memorabilia, yeah.
Yeah. And then that book follows that ball forwards and backwards in time, but it has very little to do with the ball or baseball.
Yeah.
It has to do with dropping nukes. It's got to do with civil rights, like drugs. It's insane.
The ball is a plot device.
Yeah, it's one of them plot devices these stupid writers use in their dumb fucking books.
Yeah, oh, I'm a fucking writer. I sit and I go like this all day.
Tippity tap tap
Tap
type.
on the keyboard. Oh, look at me. I fucking wrote 1,000,000 words. Good for you, bro. Good for you. Oh, you sat down and wrote 1,000,000 words, huh?
I like you can do that to any profession.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, do
being a total
astronauts.
shithead. Yeah. Oh, hey. Oh, look at me. I can go really, really fast. And oh, they put me in a spinning machine to test if I can keep my consciousness going inside. Jeez. Fuck you. Oh yeah, I go to space and I look at something. I go, duh, 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 duh. And then I'm in. Oh, look, it floats a little bit. Oh, and then I come back down. What did you do? Nothing.
Great job.
Fucking hate astronauts, man.
Genius.
Oh, you went to school for it, huh? Oh yeah, you fucking idiot. That seems to be like how people really think about it. They're like, man, I could fucking do that astronaut thing. It's like, no, man.
Yeah,
it's like,
sadly, a lot of our country agrees.
So hard to do. Yeah, I realized like halfway through, I kind of bailed on it a little bit. I was like, man, people actually think this.
You guys
They're
didn't
so
go to the
stupid.
fucking moon, you idiots.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's like, oh my god.
All right, guys, the moon landing was fake. Explain. And they're
I
like, well, it was in a studio. Look at that. It's like there's no, you know what studio they were in? They were lit by a giant light source that's 93 million miles away.
Yeah,
Like
a
any
nuclear fusion ball.
If you've been in any studio ever, like people in film specifically, like DPs would probably be the best people to confirm that the moon landing is real.
The shadows are impossible
the shadows you
to
cannot
recreate.
achieve those like crisp shadows. There is absolutely no atmosphere.
No diffusion
There's
at all.
no diffusion whatsoever. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's impressive that they were able to actually even film it because like the intensity of the light.
That's why they had to consult with people like Stanley Kubrick. That's why they always think that he had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Kubrick was consulted because they're like, you know
would
how
we
to
film this?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're one of the greatest directors of photography in history.
Yeah.
Like he's like this great photographer, and he was like, here's how you light it in these conditions. And then he used those cameras and some of that technology to film Barry Lyndon after that.
Yep, because that one was notoriously in the film world is like, it's like all lit by natural sources. Like they used very little actual lighting.
Lots of mirrors and candles and like just bouncing sunlight. It's such a I just rewatched that not long ago. Barry Lyndon is a comedy. It's like it's so funny. So much of it is like he's such a turd in it.
I'm gonna really out myself as not a true cinephile.
Haven't seen it?
I fucking haven't seen Barry Lyndon.
Dude, you should watch it. It's really because it just looks like a boring period piece from the outside. And then we start watching it, it's like all Kubrick's movies. You're like, there's something so modern about it. And like he's very the guy, I think he fights for 3 different armies for 3 different countries in the movie because he's just like a fucking bitch and he just keeps like running. Like as soon as a war starts, he's just like, fuck this. Like they're marching in a straight line and he just like runs into the woods. It's like, dude,
that's awesome.
It's great. I mean, the whole thing is about a guy like running and being a dipshit. Like,
well,
it's very interesting.
So is it like a meditation on cowardice? Like he's afraid to go to war?
Yeah, it's about cowardice. It's about trying to be rich and like something you're not, and it's very interesting.
I wonder, that came out before Vietnam?
Oh no,
or it was in the early 70s.
It was in the 70s.
Okay, so Vietnam had started. I bet you it has something to do with it. Because that sounds interesting. Like,
I never
draft
thought
dodging or like, you know what I mean? Like that was a thing, man. Like people were like, this is horrible that there's a draft to go to some place that I've never fucking heard of. And that was like that was the first abuse of the military industrial complex. Like, the World War
Speaking
II,
of conspiracies,
you could kind of justify it.
They literally false flagged in Vietnam, and like I'm not a conspiracy nut, but they really had a false flag to get us into Vietnam.
Yeah,
the Gulf of Tonkin.
Yeah, the CIA that's
insane.
Very much a tool. It's an organization, and I mean, like it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just like actual history at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like it's like the CIA destabilizes governments. That's what they do. They get in there and they're like, all right, what do we want, and how could we get it by like crazy means? Where like false flag operations, like just. In general, like
drug trades,
disinformation is a huge thing, and now that has become so mainstream that it's weird because like the stuff that is working on Americans now is stuff that we have used against other countries for the past 50, 60 years, like and beyond. Actually, I mean, probably even into like the.
I mean, it's the cheapest.
The last 100 years.
It's the cheapest way to fight. Like, or to spread our interest around the world or whatever. It's so cheap. I mean, Russia, it's Russia and China and us. It's like our number one way of fighting each other is just to be like, hey,
this is happening over there.
Just trying to make Russians realize that Putin's a nutcase, and like just to try to make them fight each other at some point, you know. I mean, but it works. They did it to us, and it worked beautifully. Well done. You guys won.
You did it.
You did it. You pulled it off. God
Great
damn it.
Great job, guys.
Oh, by the way, going back to the moon landing conspiracy, somebody was like, showed a picture of the the buggy that we drove around the moon, which was not Apollo 11. I don't know what people always think. It was like Apollo whatever, like 14, 15. It was one of the later ones where we actually had a moon buggy that drove around.
Yeah.
The original lander didn't have
The
that.
lunar rover.
The lunar rover, thank you. It's a dune buggy.
I think that's what it's called, but I don't know.
It is the lunar rover, yeah. So someone was like, "You're telling me that this fit inside of this?" And it was like the thing they landed in, and you're like, it is crazy how small the module is and how big the buggy is. And so I did 1 second of research. Fucking hello internet, look shit up, you dummies.
Let me guess. It folded up.
Yeah. So NASA was like, "Oh, here you can go to NASA's website and you can download the blueprint, like the schematic."
Oh, you can get the schematics for it. Oh
yeah,
my God.
they're like, "Here's the whole thing," and so
wow,
it was fucking crazy. They're like sitting on top of it, and the whole thing folded into like a tiny, like 2 feet across little box, and they're like sitting on it, and they're like, it literally like you like pull it out the side of the module and it unfolds into that buggy. It was insanely impressive, like the design.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing about this shit. I just saw one of the.
I'm glad this conspiracy shit has made me look up all the details of like how they did it, and you're like, God, it's so impressive.
It's so much more technical than any conspiracy gives it credit for. Like you see, kind of like what an achievement it really was.
All conspiracy theories really like downplay human intelligence, and I think it's because they're stupid.
Yes, yeah.
No one can figure this out because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. If I couldn't figure it out, then it's impossible. But it's like that.
I can't figure out how to build a colony on Mars.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
And they're like, "Oh man, Elon Musk is a genius." He's like, could not hack it as an engineer in NASA in the 60s. Like,
and not by himself.
No. And
Elon is just he's great at paying very good engineers.
He's well enough bankrolled that he can hire the best. And
off of his emerald mine that he refuses to admit his money came from.
Yeah.
Your brother's name is Emerald, dude. Oh, we saw Emerald. We saw him in person.
Emerald Musk?
Yeah. He was at Beebles.
Is that really his name?
Yeah, I think so. I think his
name
is Emerald.
Wow. That's fucking cool.
Dude, we saw him at Beebles' party. He was wearing a cowboy. I was like, the one
that I was at?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude,
I was not aware of any people outside of myself.
So for people who don't know, Beeple is this digital
NFT
artist. He's a digital artist. He's been around for a while, but he sold a piece of art for $69 million in Ethereum through Christie's.
Yeah, the auction house. It was like the first NFT art that they sold there. And it was a collection of 5,000 of his everydays. So it's a piece of art that's like massive.
Yeah, it's 30 feet across.
And it's like each one of his, he made art every day for like 5,000 days straight.
Right.
And so every piece of the art was encoded in this big NFT, and it's gigantic. And some Ethereum mining, like multimillionaire who just has like insane money, thought it would be funny to bid $69 million. He's like, 69 is like the funniest number. Let me just add a bunch of zeros.
God, there's video of that auction ending, and it's like in the last 30 seconds, it's like 30 million, 50 million, 69 million, and he's just like, what the hell, dude?
It's like winning a lottery jackpot that you don't know what the jackpot is before you bought your ticket. You know what I mean?
If he had sold it for $5 million, he would have been like, "Oh my God, this is awesome."
Yeah.
But anyways, so he used that money. He bought a studio, which was actually where The Outer Banks filmed. The Netflix show The Outer Banks filmed season 1 in this building. he came in after Outer Banks moved to a new location, and then he bought the whole building
And then
and
revamped it.
revamped it with millions of dollars worth of projectors and LED, screens, and like the coffee tables in there are LED screens. So at the push of a button, he can change his whole gallery from one artist to another artist. He can show videos on the walls. Like, it's totally insane.
Yeah,
It was like totally. It was a party straight out of a John Wick movie. It was like one of those parties he goes to. There's like lasers and like crazy shit everywhere. I mean, that's exactly what it looked like.
It was, yeah. And but it was also like it was catered by. It was funny that they had like deliveries of like the food that catering kept coming out, and it was like little plates, but it was like hot dogs.
Yeah,
it was like all this like really it's like plated on these
Domino's
fancy little plates.
Pizza, dude.
Domino's Pizza came in at the very end when he was like, all right,
like
everybody's
1,000 pizzas just showed up.
Yeah. It was so funny.
It was all like just normal dork who grew up in the 90s stuff. Like that's what he is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, imagine if you gave a child in 1993 $1 million to have a big party, and that's what it would be. And it was like, it was like that. It was so fun.
It was crazy. So he also had 3D printed masks of Kim Jong-un, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg,
and
himself,
and Andy Warhol, and himself. Yeah,
Andy Warhol,
just like
and
a bunch
himself.
of different famous people masks. These guys were like walking around the party,
and they looked pretty real. It was very creepy. I saw Elon Musk and Kim Jong-un dancing to like crazy techno music. But then there was another guy I saw walking around, and I was like, dude, that guy right there looks like one of his Elon masks, but he's like just a guy, and he had a cowboy hat on. And I was like, dude, that guy looks like Elon Musk with a cowboy hat. And it was his brother.
Weird.
Yeah, he was at that party.
I did not see that guy.
Dude.
That's awesome.
And then the performance artist that everyone should look up, David Henry Nobody Jr., was there.
Yeah.
That guy's an insane person. But
he was fully
such a
David
nice
Henry
guy.
Nobody Jr. is so interesting.
He's awesome.
I started like following him after we met him.
Yeah.
But like what was he fully? He was fully painted, and he had
he was covered in he had dogs on sticks all over his body. So he had little tiny toy dogs, and they were barking constantly. like and there were like 50 of them on his body.
But he had some sort of like face paint.
I think he was painted. He had like a suit on of some sort.
Yeah,
like a very vibrant suit.
Yeah, and it was like all
he looked
these
like one of those silver man. Like he looked like one of those robots, like on the street. Statues,
like a street performer, human statue. Yeah, but all those barking dog things were like
so annoying all night.
But yeah, so he's a performance artist based in New York, and he did. I mean, he does all sorts of weird stuff. Like he builds contraptions that are on his face, and like it looks uncomfortable. The art that he does looks.
And he was one of the featured artists at Beeple's party.
Yeah,
but yeah, he would. So he would like he like will glue like a bunch of weed pipes to his head, and they're all, and he paints his face green, and he has like weed nuggets for eyebrows or whatever, like. And then, like, all the pipes are smoking. Like, everything is smoking. There's smoke everywhere. Like, and he'll be like, Weed Man. And, like, that'll be his, like, NFT that he puts out.
And you're like, huh, what is that? And he's like, I don't know. What is that?
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy.
His whole thing is like, what do you think about it? Yeah. So he did an interesting piece when he was in New York around, like, he basically stalked Donald Trump for 2 years in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it was like back when Donald Trump was just a kooky guy. Yeah. And it was funny because with the election recently, he reposted it. This one thing that he did where he would like show up at events, pretend he would pose as a like some sort of nepotism thing. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm so and so's son,"
And I think
and
he had one suit, by the way. Wasn't
yeah,
it that he bought one suit for
He-
like $10 at a Goodwill?
yeah, he bought one suit and he would like just have that cleaned and like go and show up to these places and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so and so. I'm
He's
some
like the
nepo
son
baby."
of some sort of baron of some
Yeah,
sort.
and he would like talk his way into all these parties and like attend and then find a way to get near Donald Trump and then get his picture taken with him.
He has
And-
pictures with everyone, with
Yeah.
the Clintons, with Trump, with who? I mean, every big person, and everyone's pointing at him. And
Yeah,
David,
like-
nobody.
Yeah,
They're like pointing at him, like I'm with this guy.
Yeah.
like,
they're
he's
like, "Oh,
no
this
one."
guy, he's the one, man. He's the real thing, buddy." Nope,
Ugh,
he's an
it's all
imposter.
So
It was all
fake,
just
though.
it was just an art thing, and yeah, and
Isn't
he
it
had
all
he had
fake?
a picture or a picket sign that said Trump for president in
Yes.
gearing
Way
up
back.
for the 2000 election. It was like Trump
Hilarious.
for president 2000, just because that was like part of his performance art piece.
Isn't that funny that's the performance art became life? Oh boy! Great job, everyone.
There's some quote about it. Oh yeah, art imitates life.
Life imitates art.
Oh god.
Fuck you.
You know what? Art is stupid. Oh, I'm painting. Oh, I'm pretending to be a guy walking around in a famous boys party. Oh.
I'm gonna take these colors and I'm gonna put them on this piece of blank paper.
And,
Ooh.
oh, look! If you look at it up close, it looks like shit, and if you look at it from far away, it also looks like shit. Fuck art.
Man, art is for dummies.
Artsy fartsy. No thanks. Bullshit.
God.
What are ideas, man? Oh, I have an idea. Oh,
My neurons, my brain fired off.
Oh, I'm a fucking animal on a planet, and I fucking have this idea in my head, and it's intangible, but it is also something that can become reality. Fuck you.
Man, fuck humanity.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're a human? Fuck you.
Oh, I walk around, I eat food, I try to make other humans. Dude.
Dumbass. I have thoughts and feelings. No thanks. I love. Well, who's that guy who's the character who just like shits on everything? What's his name? The one that we're doing right now. What's his name? It's just like I can't. He's got to have a name.
many.
Yeah, like Bernard is one of the ones that I first get. Bernard.
Oh, ain't it Chud?
Chud.
Bernard
He's
Chud.
a real fucking Larry.
Larry Chud.
Larry Chud. It's like, oh, you think, oh, life is hard. Oh, must be because you're a fucking dumbass.
Colonel Larry Chud.
Colonel. I like it. That gives him a little status. Oh,
Yeah.
Chud. Oh, the Colonel. He's earned things. He wasn't a draft dodger.
Dude. Oh, man. I would
Like
dodge
Barry
a draft.
Lyndon.
I would dodge
Oh,
a
dude.
draft so fast right now.
Dude, I never dodge a draft. I just chug a draft beer. It's a beer joke.
You're fired.
Oh!
No, Chris!
No.
Just brains hit the ceiling. Oh, you don't like living, so you're gonna kill yourself?
Oh,
Okay.
living is so hard and you're so sad and you can't make sense of it. Yeah, welcome to the fucking club. Nobody's life makes sense.
Yeah, everyone's life sucks. Shut up.
I was listening to who was this comedian? Oh, it was
Jerry Seinfeld.
Who was this comedian? It was Louis C.K. He had a brilliant joke about. He's like, "Don't kill yourself. Like, come on, don't kill yourself." The best argument for against suicide is like, hey, your life is just going to take care of it. That will happen eventually. So don't rush it.
Yeah.
And he's like,
that's pretty good.
oddly enough, it's also the best argument for suicide. It's going to happen anyway. So you may as well just, if you're not having a good time now, you may as well just do it.
Now that's nihilism.
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa.
hello. I've got a beep beep.
Oh, dude, was that the suicide alarm?
Yeah, I gotta.
By the way,
my lead pills this
can't
morning.
you get deplatformed from shit for saying that word?
Oh,
Isn't
you can't talk about life?
I think that's why fucking idiot started using unalive. Like he unalived himself. I think it was from a platforming thing.
I thought that was just
dipshits.
People just being cute.
I thought that was TikTok idiots, but I think it's a deplatforming
so this guy
issue.
Unalived himself. It's like, okay, no thanks.
Cool.
That's a dumb word. But okay, great. So this is going to be demonetized because we said
good.
Guys, we're going to bleep out
unalive.
No.
Yeah,
I guess we might need to bleep them out if we want to put this on.
I don't know.
Anything.
It's interesting. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
I don't want to edit anything because that's lame.
Editing is, it's time consuming.
Also, Trump's in charge, dude. We're not getting canceled. Who gives
Nah,
a
man,
fuck?
canceling is over.
Dude,
There's no.
it's cool.
Well, we can post this on Twitter because we know Elon will not infringe free speech.
Oh my god!
Can you believe he spent $44 billion to buy a fucking website where idiots say stupid shit?
You can get a website for $20. Why didn't he just start a fucking social media site? What an idiot!
He's so popular, he could have promoted it, but
he bought bots.
Yeah,
that's so fucking dumb.
What I mean, and I saw this great headline the other day. It was Elon Musk fired 90% of the people who worked at Twitter, and it still works. So hopefully he'll do the same for the government. It's like
unemployed people.
I guess he'll just fire everyone in the government, and then
dude,
it won't work good.
If firing people was a good long-term solution, nobody would ever work.
Yeah, no one would have a job and the economy would be in the shitter. We'd all be walking around, hunting each other.
Someone pointed out, they were like, I think between both Bushes that were president, they're like, because of they'd lost jobs they net lost jobs between the two Bushes. So they're like, if Bushes had run America since the beginning, no one would have ever worked. Like, there would just not be jobs ever. I was like, that's so funny.
Hey, man, not having a job sounds pretty cool.
Dude, a whole country of people that don't have jobs. That would be horrifying.
God. Yeah.
It's not even possible. It would just be, everyone would just starve to death in their homes and not do anything.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, even being a marauder is a job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mad Max.
Yeah. If you pirate someone's, any of their goods.
You're a pirate for a living.
Yeah. You have a job.
You accidentally worked.
Yep. You are being rewarded for a task. That's a job.
Dude, I feel like this podcast sucks now. What's going on?
Oh, man. Dude.
What happened?
It's holding up a mirror to America, baby.
Yeah, dude, that's what we're not paid to do. You know, people turn to us
for our
insights,
opinions.
These guys have opinions.
You have an opinion? Oh, thank you very much for thinking of stupid shit. You idiot.
Dude, by the way, we're gonna beat the fuck out of Joe Rogan. I'm gonna fucking tool that guy up.
I'm gonna pinch his nips, slap him around, karate kick him right in the beehole. Throw him off a bridge.
He would split both of our spleens open in like 4 seconds. He would spin kick both of us and we would be dead. Like, we would just die.
I don't know. I think I could take him.
I did see a video of him putting a guy in a headlock behind a comedy club one time.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I don't even remember what happened. I think the guy just got in his face a little bit and he just instantly put him in a headlock. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's one way to do it.
He is a very aggressive little dude. I think I'm taller than he is. I'm 5'6". No, he's got to be like, I'm 5'7", but he's got to be around my height. I think he's a little dude.
Yeah, maybe.
But he is fucking shredded. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah,
he may have ruined the country, but he is in shape.
He's part of the roid rage. He's got the advantage. Wasn't it Shane Gillis threatened? He was just like, "I'll fucking kick your ass, dude." And then they did fight, and he was like, "Oh, it was so bad. He choked me out 5 times." He just kept doing it.
No,
he just kept choking him out.
He's a jiu-jitsu trained. Yeah, no, you could not fight him. Shane Gillis is just a big guy.
Yeah,
he played football a little bit. He actually he played for West Point, and then he quit West Point because he was like, "This fucking sucks." I heard him talking about that.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah.
I want to have a good time in college. Let me go to a military college.
Shane Gillis could beat up 99% of comedians, I would say. Well, no, I think there's so many fucking bros now. There's so many, everyone's like, I'm in BJJ. Everyone loves Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now. Yeah.
They're following the Joe Rogan model of comedy.
Yeah.
Where they,
getting ripped makes you funny.
They have a podcast, they do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they don't have good stand-up specials. They make fun of liberals in ways that we were talking about 15 years ago. Yeah. Liberals are triggered. Really? You've done 5 specials about it. You sound triggered. Relax. Yeah. What? You can't say anything anymore. It's like, yeah, well, you're saying a whole nothing right now.
Bought a comedy club and you can say whatever you want and everybody goes nuts for it. Yeah. You're fine. You'll be okay.
You'll be okay. You can say whatever you want.
The government has to be the one telling you can't say something. And the government does not do that.
Right.
So
they're like, yeah, that was maybe it was inappropriate, but you're allowed to do whatever you want.
In owning a social media company, because corporations are people, the corporation has the right to freedom of speech, and that includes throwing you off their social media platform whenever they want.
Yep.
So that's all covered into the First Amendment. I hate people talking about rights. They don't understand them. Yeah. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in public. Like, you're in a Walmart. This is not public.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works. Like, people don't understand how any of that shit works. It's very funny to me.
Yeah. Fundamentally misunderstanding, what the rights are supposed to protect them against. And that's why we're in the situation we're in now, because people don't fucking understand what any of that stuff means. And they they have been successfully manipulated by propaganda to blame the wrong people for their problems.
Everybody. Everyone has. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's always been the case. It just depends who the finger is being pointed at. It's like, this year it's immigrants, and next year it'll be blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's always some boogeyman.
Yeah,
but really, it's the people who think we didn't land on the moon. They ruined America for me and you.
Moon landing the musical.
Moon landing the moon. You went to the moon, did you?
Oh, well.
dude, I can't. I think it
Colonel
was
Larry Judd.
It may have been Louis C.K. who was like, the country is full of cowboys and nerds, and they used to work together. And it'd be like the nerds would go like, "Hey, we thought of something," and then, thanks. And then the cowboys, would be like, "Hey, that's a good idea. We'll implement that for you." And then at some point recently, there was a disconnect between the two, and the cowboys were like, "We don't need you fucking nerds complaining about everything. We'll do it ourselves." And they don't know that they can't. And then the nerds are like, "We don't need these bullies telling us what to do." And the nerds just sit around and talk about shit, and they can't do anything. And I was like, wow, it's pretty good.
It works. It checks out.
That's it's
so
like
bizarre.
We need to realize that no matter how shitty of a pill it is to swallow, we're gonna have to figure out a way to fucking talk to each other and get together again. And I feel like you and I, who are we're pretty liberal minded, like classically, we are infuriated with both sides, and like for different reasons.
Yeah,
but
there's
like, and it's the reason, like, in my complaints about the left are the reason so many people went to the right. And I was like, I was trying to fucking tell my friends, like, warn people, like,
everyone's policing people's behavior.
Yes.
Like,
stop nitpicking every little thing.
Yeah,
it's not important.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing to see, like, all these leftists, like this election in particular. You know, like there were like just millions of people who just didn't go out and vote for Kamala,
like
because
15
they were
million
so
people.
frustrated with like the Gaza shit, and like there were just so many different things where they're just like, I can't in good conscience vote for this. But it's like the alternative is
worse for those people.
Way worse for those people. So you're not helping anybody, and they're gonna like totally dismantle. Like, as much of an issue as I have with the way that America is run, totally dismantling everything about it is probably not the best move.
No. We could change 1%
it'll just destabilize
of
things too quickly.
Yes.
And
we could change 1% of things and make things 50% better.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it doesn't take that much. It's a few little things we need to fucking do.
There's a thing called the 80-20 rule, where like, 20% of the things are responsible for 80% of the output, right? So like, if you make changes in this smaller area, there will be immeasurable benefits to doing that. But like, there's no way to get with a country as big and as diverse as ours is, like, and you know, only two parties representing every single person that's on a spectrum of political belief. Like, you're going to have incredible difficulty zeroing in on one or two of those things that really need to change. But like,
you're trying to appeal to as many people as possible, but nobody fully agrees with anybody else. Like, no one represents anyone else fully.
Right.
Like, it's like, I love gay people being able to get married, but I don't like everybody on the left being like, you can't make a joke about them or something like that. When they it's like, it's like, you're just annoying people with stuff like that. Yeah. And we saw the outcome. Like, it's one of the factors. It's definitely one of the factors.
One of the factors, yeah.
And it's like, sure, the candidate being a woman was a factor. Her being a woman of color is a factor. But I don't know how big of a factor those things are compared to the overall what is going on the far left. It's like, the far left is annoying the fuck out of the middle. And the right is annoying people too, but they're policing whatever. They police in their own way. They police fucking gay people and you know, trans people and all that shit.
Well, there's this whole thing now about
everyone stay out of everyone's business.
Trying to reinstitute prayer in school. Like, he's like, we're gonna start. Yeah, no, Trump just did a fucking announcement of, he's like, here's what we're gonna do.
Ever.
We're gonna fire everybody that isn't a good teacher. It's like, well, how are you gonna determine that? Like, the way that it's just, like this is history repeating all the mistakes that we've already learned from, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go back to the basics. It's like, well, do you think things may have changed for a reason?
We changed from the basics because it sucked.
Yeah, we've learned that the basic way that we were approaching certain things was not enough, and whatever.
Let's go back to the basics. Slaves are legal. Let's go all the way back.
Jesus Christ.
We should have 13 colonies.
Oh, did you see this shit?
What?
There was a mass text sent out like a couple days after the election.
Yes,
where it was like,
did.
You have to report for cotton picking. Your slavery begins soon. Like, that is literally what some assholes think when they're like, Trump got elected, so now we get to fucking do whatever the fuck we want. And that's just, I mean, that's not everybody, obviously.
Of course.
But it's like, it's
some
funny.
Dipshit out there is like, fuck yeah, man, it's go time.
Yeah. There's
like
some, like, maybe 1%, 2% of these people who were like, all right, yeah,
it's
this is
on.
gonna be,
let's deport liberals. It's on.
Or
it's like, dude, this is the Frankenstein
it was a liberal false flag.
Because if you go, we arrested the guy who did it, they'd be like,
Obama
sent
out that text, man.
Hell yeah.
That's what that would actually asshole's gonna say. That'd be hilarious trolling.
What if Obama did? That would be hilarious. He's just like, this will be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he'd be like, what are these fucking Peckerwoods gonna think about this shit? It's so fucking funny.
Dude, yeah, what a dick move. But it is just, I mean, I wonder if it's an ultimate troll or if it's just it's a real, like, dumbass neo-Nazi guy.
Right, like, you
never know. Or it's Russian. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, it's, like, very difficult to point the fingers now. Because, I mean, dude, if we knew who was sending spam calls and texts, for real, if you were able to find out, dude, those people would be beaten within an inch of their lives.
Pretty sure half of them are from the Kremlin. But hey, it's funny, the day after the election, Kamala Harris stopped texting me every day. I thought we were friends. What the hell?
I'm gonna need you to white knuckle it through this election, show up to the polls, send me $20, and now she just ghosted you, dude.
Together if we do this together, guys, with a little bit of luck, we'll lose by 15 million votes.
With a little luck.
With just a little luck, we will be dead fucking last.
Jesus
Christ. Everybody, Bernie Sanders was your guy, and you threw him in the trash. Fucking idiots. You should have gone back to him because they were like, we don't need another old guy. It's like, yeah, no, I would be fine with another old guy if he was fucking awesome.
If he was Bernie Sanders,
I would vote for him.
You know,
he's the only one who's just like, we have to do something about these goddamn corporations controlling us. Like, the actual problem.
Exactly. He's the only one calling out the actual problem that is making America suck so bad. And the fucking crazy thing that I saw, it was like a New York Times piece yesterday where it was like they followed this dude around in, like, it was Arizona maybe, but he was like, I was a part of the Democratic Socialists of America. I was a campaign captain for Bernie Sanders in 2016. And when I saw what happened with, like, Hillary Clinton getting the thing, even though we were doing so well, and I thought there was support, and I really believed in the mission of it all. And he voted for Trump. This is his third time voting for Trump. He voted for Trump in that election because he was so mad about the Democrats taking it away and to pivot. I wonder how many
Sanders to of Trump. Those people there are.
There are more than you think.
That's because, dude, Joe Rogan was a fucking Bernie guy. He would have been telling his followers to go for Bernie.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Bernie, there are more people than you think, and they just don't, like, they connect to a populist message, whether it's left or right, it doesn't matter. It's about like
Yes.
who you are blaming
And
the problems on. And this guy just pivoted to like, I guess corporations aren't the problem. I guess it is immigrants. And it's like, dude, you are a Latino in Arizona, and you are like, I look at the wall and I feel protected.
Yeah.
I was like, huh,
Yeah.
okay, that's quite a gymnastic jump. But
I mean, a lot of Latinos they know how shitty it was back where they're from, and they don't want illegals coming over either. That's part of it. And so that message resonated with them.
yeah,
everyone's gonna have to get their shit together. And I was gonna say, by the way, when it was Bernie versus Hillary up against Trump, all the polls were saying Bernie would do better against Trump.
Absolutely, he would have.
Hillary,
he would have
fucked him over and gave it to her.
Yeah,
and we were like,
because they were like, "This is our time."
We want to be.
It's like
we wanted to be done. It's like they made it. They wanted to make it a thing of like it's time for women and all this, but it's like we have to win one. And she's a Clinton. We were like, we're done with the Bushes and the Clintons and we didn't want it. And
yeah, nobody wanted it. And
I mean, even though she did get the popular vote, but
yeah, which is fucking bonkers.
But
it's bonkers that it's
still Bernie would have had a bigger vote.
Yeah, he would have made it competitive, and the Electoral College would have.
Also, he's pro like fucking
out.
Automotive workers and shit. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever. He's also pro gun. So that would have helped Bernie.
Pro gun, pro union. Which I mean, a lot of unions flipped for Trump too. Which is like,
Teamsters
dude,
did.
Fucking fighting for a guy who would take away your shit immediately if he could to make it easier to invest.
Teamsters.
It's fucking baloney.
Oh, lady alert. I saw a woman back there.
Uh-oh. Oh. Sure.
We're at time anyways, bro.
Yep.
Hell true. Yeah. Get dragged away. There's another lady taking it from a guy.
You know what I mean?
Wives, what are you gonna do? JK, love you.
Yo, ball and chains calling, you know.
This old hound dog.
Oh.
Were you married?
You need me to come down and help you feed the children before they go to school? Yes, she does actually, and I love her, and I'm gonna go do that now.
Oh, good job! Raise your kids.
All right, man.
All right,
it was a good one. It's time.
Right, we went deep. We covered it.
We did. We solved it. I think
we solved America's problems.
No need to ever talk about that again on this show.
God damn it! All right, we're too stupid to have gone to the moon. Bye.
No, moon.
But what would you rather do instead?